Hey, you guys. I see you guys in here. Give me a second. I'm just doing a couple things and then we'll start right away. I'm going to give people time to come in. Okay, guys, we about to start in just 1 minute. Give me another second and then we're going to start. Okay, so we are here, y'all. We are definitely here. Um, hey to I'm trying to shout people out. J Doff, hey. I know I haven't went live on this channel in a long time, so of course the people who are subscribed to it, I don't expect them to be here because at the end of the day, I haven't went live in a very long time, especially from this channel. Hey, I Can Breeze and Positive Gal. Hey to I Love Us American Black Women. Y'all have some really interesting names. Hey, 60 Amethyst. I definitely remember you. Hey, the Eve Jean. I remember you too. Really, I haven't forgotten about really not too many other people who subscribe to my channel, even though I haven't been on here in a while. Y'all know that I'm no longer on YouTube full time, nor will I be. So I just want people to understand that while I'm here today, I'm not really going to be on YouTube. Don't think that every day of the week you're going to find me doing something on the weekend. You're not. I'm on Patreon. Y'all should be able to see the Patreon information. If you can't see it, then I obviously need to get in StreamYard and get into this banner. There we go. Okay. So we have that. There we go. So now that we got this going, so y'all can see how to get to me on Patreon. It is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Just know that I'm not here. This live stream likely won't stay up. I'll give it 2 days and then it's going to be on Patreon because at the end of the day, I don't really want my content on YouTube. I come on YouTube because a lot of people ask me to. So I've given myself 1 day to come live on YouTube. I get requests everywhere on YouTube, on Instagram. I get a lot of requests to get back on YouTube, on TikTok. I don't really want to be on YouTube full time. I don't. I really think YouTube is a wholly toxic environment. I'm able to maintain my peace over on Patreon. And so therefore I am going to stay on Patreon full time and I'll be going live on YouTube once a week. If something comes up that makes it where I can't go live on Friday once a week, then I just won't be on then I obviously just won't be on YouTube. So you really, if you want to find my content, and I'm saying it for people, which it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I'm only doing it in the beginning. I will say this again at the end of the live stream, which really isn't going to be that long. So I'm anticipating I'm only going to be live for like an hour and a half. There are some topics that I want to go over about the Diddy situation. There's always studies coming up talking about this situation between women and men. A lot of people say there is no gender war, but there really is. The climate is the same globally, where women are getting tired. Women are getting tired of the oppression. The change is not because of men. Men want you to believe that they're just opting out of dating, but they're actually not. All of statistics and data say that this is clearly driven by women. So we will talk a little bit about that. There were some studies that came out in reference to women choosing to be single without children going into the future and the projections on that. So we're going to go over quite a bit. Of course, Bandits never take a break from running amok. So we will be going over some bandits running amok. And I like to start out by looking at the Instagram feed because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything that just dropped. Y'all, DDG is over here going back and forth with TikTok creators, fighting for his life since him and Hallie broke up. Meanwhile, Hallie ain't said nothing, and I respect that. If I'm not dragging you because I broke up, if we two public people and you violated me and that led to the breakup, I'm dragging you, or I'm just acting like you don't exist. There's just really no way around that. But I feel like that's what Halle Bailey is doing. So we'll get into this DDG video now since we're on the topic. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. This whole she should have got married first is irritating me. Hold on for a second. Hang on 1 second. We are going to go over what R. Kelly's daughter said because I noticed something that I think is really interesting about one of the images that they showed of R. Kelly's daughter. Kanye West out here fighting for his little mentally ill life too. We just gonna let Kanye West do what he do. It looked like Charleston White done got arrested. Hopefully he stay in jail. I'm gonna scroll past that. Listen, I am not one of those people who think that black men shouldn't go to jail just because they're black. I really personally think there's more of them that should be in jail. I think black women would be safer if more of them were in jail. But nonetheless, let me send out this link and we're going to get into DDG. Black people are still having a discussion over 50-50. I don't know why. I'm going to tell y'all now that I'm not having any discussion with anybody about, I'm not having a discussion with anybody at all about going 50-50. I'm just not going to. I don't know who is. Like, I don't know why y'all out here having discussions with needy bandits who want you to subsidize their rent for them. But I'm not a welfare system. I'm just not. So being that I'm not a welfare system, I'm not about to sit up here and help any black man with his bills because that's what it would be. I've lived with men in the past on 2 different occasions, and I'm just telling you, the reality of it is that if you go 50-50, you are going to pay all of the bills. It just is what it is. And I don't know why women are allowing themselves to be okey-doked into this. It appears to only be black women who are doing it because I really largely don't see, and just because I don't see it don't mean it's not happening. So let me just clear that up for the people who need you to make things super clear because they can only think in a certain way. I'm not about to go 50-50 with no bandit. I don't understand how they're able to convince y'all to beyond black man worship. I really don't. But what I know is I won't be doing it. And actually, I want to play a video for y'all from a man who's talking about 50-50 as well. And then I'll get into the DDG situation because I really wish that Black women would put this 50-50 discussion to rest by just letting Black men know that you are not going to, under any circumstances, subsidize their rent because you are not a welfare program. Not only am I not a welfare program, but Black men adamantly said they were against welfare. So I'm not about to offer some men who are against welfare, I'm not about to offer them welfare, because them asking you to go 50-50 to me is the equivalent of them asking for welfare. And I'm just not going to do that. Let me get into share this clip with y'all. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing that ain't gonna happen is ain't no bandit about to convince me to be his welfare system. And I feel like this is what 50-50 is about, because 50-50 isn't about any man, definitely not a Black man wanting to help Black women do anything. That's not what you're dealing with here. You're not dealing with some men who just feel like, hey, the economy is inflated, everything is super expensive. Let me lend those Black women some help. That's not helping. That's not really what's going on. What's going on is that Black men cannot provide for themselves. They struggle to provide for themselves. So because they struggle to provide for themselves, not you, because they struggle to provide for themselves statistically, they want you to subsidize their rent. And I'm telling you, if you want to subsidize Black men's rent, if you want to be a welfare program for these bandits, you can do that. I'm not even going to discuss it. Like, I'm having zero discussion with zero man about 50-50. So I want to play this video here really quickly. Yeah, so this is my attitude. I want y'all to understand this is 100% my attitude. I'm not about to entertain a conversation with you about 50-50. This is the way that y'all can vet a man. If he wants you to go 50-50, that tells you a lot about his character and his manhood. Because he's basically, oh, you said it's no sound? Okay, let me do something. It'll sound on my end. So let me fix it. Give me just 1 second. So I can figure out this sound. Yeah, that means I need to plug in a microphone. That's all that means. So give me 1 second, y'all. I'm about to plug this microphone in. Okay, so let me know if y'all can hear now. Let me know if y'all can hear. Okay, so now y'all can. Okay, so let me see if you can hear this. Can you hear the video? Okay, so y'all can hear it. All right, let me share the screen. Oh, you can't hear the video? Oh wow! If y'all can't hear the video, I don't know I don't know what to do about that. Then I don't know how to. I don't. Then I don't know what to do. Then that means we can't play videos because I don't know what else to do with the audio to make y'all hear it. Yeah, I don't know what to do to help y'all hear it then. Yeah, my speakers are on. All of them are on. All of my speakers are on. So that's why if y'all can't hear the video, then I genuinely don't know what else to do. Like there's literally nothing else on my end that I can do. I already fixed all of the audio inputs and outputs, connected a microphone. If y'all can't hear it, then I don't know how to fix the audio from here, but I'll try again. Can y'all hear me now? Yeah, so I don't know what's going on because now some people are saying they can hear it loud and clearly. Some people are saying that they can't. So everybody who can hear, put one in there if you can hear me and the video when I played it. Hold on, I'm gonna go get my external speaker. After this, we're just gonna kind of discard it because then I don't know what's going on. So if you're putting one in there, then you can hear. Okay, so you can't hear the video. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so I got my speaker. If this doesn't resolve the issue, I'm telling y'all, we gonna be doing a very short live stream because most of what I have has audio. And the only other thing I know how to do is stop the live stream. And the only other thing I know how to do, the only thing I can do is I can stop the live stream and restart it on Zoom. And then that may fix the audio issues. But if y'all are not able to hear the videos, it's just going to be very live. It's going to be a very quick live stream. Like I'm talking about 20 minutes because most of what I have has audio. So if we can't, I'm telling y'all, if y'all can't hear, this is going to be a real short live stream. It just is. It's going to be really, really short because I think only one or two of these don't have audio on it. So it's yeah. If y'all can't hear it, we gonna have to shorten up this live stream. We are. So let me try to play it one more time to see if you guys hear it, and then I'm gonna tell you how many. Yeah, this one got audio. This don't. This do. This do. This do. Yeah, only two of the topics don't have audio. So we go get this done real fast. If the live stream is going to end real fast if y'all can't hear, because I've already done everything I can do. Let me play it one more time. Limiting. Can you guys hear the video? I need you guys to give me some feedback. Can you hear the video?
No.
Hang on a minute. Is this coming? Oh, hold on. Well, give me 1 second. I gotta disconnect my phone from this.
Cynthia's S24 disconnected.
Okay. All right, so that's done. Can everybody mute? Alec, will you mute really quickly? I just want to see something because I don't know why my feedback is coming through here. I don't understand it. I don't. Hold on for a second. Okay, so now let me try to share the screen again. And see, I don't want to know if you heard something. I want to know if you can hear the video. I want to know if you can hear the video specifically. This isn't about if you can hear something. I need to know if you can hear the video. That's what I need to know. If you can hear the video, the 50-50 video, put 1 in the chat, please. I need to know if you can hear the video, not me. I want to know if you can hear this video. So listen. Oh yeah, if you guys can't hear the video, then I honestly don't know what to do. We can go over these little 2 topics, but then I'm gonna end it because if y'all don't have no sound, I don't know what to do. Like I'm telling y'all, there's nothing I can do past this point. I already went into all of the audio settings. I already did. All of them are fine. Like, I wish I could show y'all these settings. I don't think I would be able to, but I've already done everything that I can do in terms of the audio. And unfortunately, most of these videos have audio. So I'm going to go over, well, it doesn't, let me see if I can play it from my phone. Although that doesn't resolve the other videos though, because I'm not going to play all these videos from my phone. I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over these 2 things and I'm going to end the live stream because the audio is not working. And I don't feel like I've already done everything to try to fix it. So I don't, and I know it's not your fault, your guys' fault. It's nobody's, but I don't know what to do about the audio beyond here. I've already checked my computer settings. The StreamYard settings are the same. So I don't know what to do about the fact that we're not able to hear the video. I genuinely don't. I don't know what to do about that. Yeah, because everything. Yeah, everything on mine is set. Even on the browser is showing the audio. It's showing the audio even on the browser. Like I'm telling you guys, all of my audio settings are fine. That's why I don't understand why you can't hear. Ella and Xtina, will you say something so I can see if I can hear y'all?
Yep, I'm here.
Hello.
Okay. Okay, so now I don't. Yeah, if do I have mods who can get these trolls out of here? You said play a different video. Okay, it's still a different video on the computer, but Ellen and Xtina, are you ever able to hear the video? Because I am.
No.
Okay, let me play it. And see.
I wasn't really paying attention, truth be told, in these streets.
Y'all still can't hear it?
I
No.
don't hear it. No, it almost feels like you playing in my face.
Wow, that's weird because it's definitely
Truth be told about the matter.
There's a garble at the beginning, but then it just goes blank.
wow, yeah, I don't know then like I don't know. I mean, I don't think we don't have these issues with Zoom. These are not the issues we have with Zoom. So the only thing I can think of is
Do what Shauna B said and restart life. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that doesn't have anything to do with us not being able to hear the audio, because if that were the case, you wouldn't be able to hear us. And if you guys can hear us well, then
yeah, the issue is StreamYard. The issue that we're dealing with is actually StreamYard. I see that now because I see what StreamYard is doing. So I actually see why y'all can't hear it, but it's StreamYard. And the reason I'm using StreamYard is so I can oh, hold on. Let me see something.
play in our faces.
No, so she could play on more than one different broadcast on more than one channel.
Gotcha. You helping her play in our face. No, okay.
Yeah, this is an issue with StreamYard, I think. But I tried one more thing. Ella and them, will y'all say something, please?
Yeah.
Something, please.
Okay, so now I hear y'all. So let me play this video I did. One more thing. Let me see if y'all can hear it.
Do no wrong. So why you can't date the one that don't do wrong? I'm just saying
Yes.
that you hurt.
Were y'all able to hear that?
I can hear it. He
I can
sounded
hear it.
loud and
So you were able to hear it, Xtina.
I didn't
Anybody
hear
else? Were y'all able to hear that?
Just saying and Miss said they can hear it.
Okay, so they
it
said they
sounds
can
like
hear
if
the
we
video.
can't
Okay,
hear
good.
it, you might hit us. Truth be told.
No, I
was
wouldn't.
afraid to say that I could that I couldn't hear it because I
No.
thought I might get slapped. Honestly,
No, it's not even about that. It's the only thing I will be able to do is stop the live stream because if I take it off of StreamYard, then I won't be able to stream on the two channels that I'm
so
streaming.
we
on.
know it was about to happen. You was about, well, then I don't know what to do. Click in our
No, I was just gonna go over these two articles and then I was just gonna end the live stream. I was gonna go over the articles that didn't have audio on them.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go over.
Good job. Improvisation. I like
Yeah,
that.
but now I don't need to. Hold on, I'm just trying to find this article because there's a bunch of articles and pieces that came out about women choosing going towards the future to be single. It is projected that by 2030, I think that 45% of women are supposed to be single and childless, which is a lot. That's a lot. That's not a little. That's a lot. That's nearly half your population of women. That's a big problem.
They're gonna take
But
all of our freedoms if we try to do that.
well, I mean, at the end of the day, you can try to force people to give birth, but that doesn't really work out. I don't think that
like if that were to happen, giving birth would become very lucrative.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't see forcing women to give birth. I don't see that as a workable solution. And I feel like it wouldn't be. But let me show you
being childless. I think childless is definitely the way to go.
And well, the thing of it is men realize that the only way they can get here is through women. So, I mean, we can sit here and look at it as religion and God. We can do that if you want to. But the reality is, go ahead.
I was going to say, men feel like they're already here and they're not worried about how they got here or who coming
They
after.
They are. If you look in the if you look at what they're saying on these blogs and stuff, they are worried. They are very, very worried, actually. And they're literally in there talking about they're so worried that if they have to strap women down and force them to give birth, they will do that. I saw a group where white men were talking, and they said if they have to go back to their barbaric ways, they will do that. Like that, they're literally in the comment section talking about it. They are worried. I certainly wouldn't say that they were not worried. They are. They're not, but what they're not going to do is admit that there's no possible way to be more superior or better in any way than that which gives birth to you. They're not going to give that to women, but they are going to run around and show in various different ways that they are concerned about women not giving birth, because they know that's the means by which they get here. Women control that.
I wonder if it's more. I wonder if they're more concerned with the lack of control in the situation than they are women actually giving birth, because
it's probably both.
Hysterically,
it's probably more of the control.
Do they really care if women? Yeah, because do they really care if women give birth? I mean, because that equals child support, and you know what child support is. That's like their kryptonite. So it sounds like they're panicking because they might be losing control over something. And you know what brought that to me? When you said that they said they'll strap the women down if they have to.
Right.
Whatever they have to do, we'll go back to the barbaric days. Well, for one,
but that doesn't even work though. And the thing is, it's like that doesn't even work, because like it's obviously just not a workable situation, because then you're talking about trying to force women to give birth in stressful situations, and stress equals miscarriage.
Right.
So it just is what it is. Like, but they are very concerned.
Or murder, just put it in there instead of
They're not really concerned though about miscarriage. Women in slavery dealt with way worse stressful, or at least same.
And we don't know the miscarriage. We don't know the miscarriage rate of those women, so I wouldn't even speak on it.
I'm just saying that wouldn't be a factor. Like they would not even consider that.
It would be a factor, and we can't say it's not a factor, because again, we don't know how many of the women had miscarriages. The only way to assess it would be if we knew.
Right, but if they had miscarriages, we can assume that they had a lot of miscarriages, right? Did they stop?
Yeah, and a lot of them just took their kids off this planet. A lot of them just birthed them and took them off this planet too.
Right. My point is, did they stop enslaving women back then and gave them better treatment while they were carrying a child, or were they in the?
I mean, obviously no, because you would do a risk assessment. Obviously, keeping the slaves, whether they give birth or not, was more profitable than not keeping them. So obviously, that's for kind of like obvious reasons.
Right. So, my point is, there will still, they will still put the woman in a stressful situation, regardless, just assuming that, if she's gonna have miscarriages. If control is a factor, they're not really gonna care too much about there being miscarriages. They're gonna want to force her into doing something that they think that she needs.
Yeah, I do agree with you 100% on that. Like that's obviously what they do. That is their mentality, and I think they're very reckless and illogical. And I think to sell to us that men are logical is yet another lie that's causing them an extreme amount of cognitive dissonance, because I do believe that a lot of these men, even if they're not coming from a place of malice, I think they're experiencing a deep level of cognitive dissonance. And unfortunately, if you're not able to assuage your cognitive dissonance, it will lead you to do some dangerous and reckless things. And basically, cognitive dissonance is essentially the feeling that a person gets, and it could be any feeling. It's usually negative, but it's the feeling that they get when their reality contradicts what they think. Men believe that they are superior. They have been trained and brainwashed to believe that. Every single religion says that they are better. It's in education. It's written in everywhere. We already know. Reality is saying that they're not. Reality is also saying, hey, you were told that you're more superior than these women, but you need them to give birth to you. And now with the declining birth rate, that level of control, that power that women have is being highlighted. And I think they're responding from a place of cognitive dissonance, to be honest, and not just cognitive dissonance about that. They also have cognitive dissonance about the fact that they've been saying women are less intelligent, women are not they're not capable of excelling in school or in the workforce, and now women, even without being on an equal playing field, because we're not on an equal playing field, they can't even compete. Like, they literally can't even compete with you. They know they can't because they're running around talking about affirmative action for boys, talking about, oh, the reason why males are doing worse is because they don't mature as faster. So now they're going back on literally everything they've said historically, and a lot of them presently, because reality has now contradicted this belief system that was instilled in them. Reality is contradicting that because they're running around saying now there's no position for men because women have independence. So their whole entire identities is built up on what women are doing. So they're having a problem with that too. They don't like that women are independent and can take care of themselves and really don't need men. Even when people say they need them for protection, men are only protecting you from themselves. So therefore, if you're not in proximity to a man, you're safer. Their data says that the biggest threat to you is actually a man that you're in a relationship with, even more so than any bear or anything in nature that would harm you. Women are mostly harmed by the males that they give birth to. They do. And this is a reality. And now one of the things that bandits are going through is this desire to get women to subsidize their rent and act as their welfare program, and I'm not gonna do it. You laughing, but you know that's what they're trying to do, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna be your subsidy program. I won't. So, and I'm not shaming any woman who does. Whether you want to be a man's welfare system and subsidize his rent, you can do that. I'm not shaming you. Where your money go is not my business. When you spend your money, it doesn't delete from my bank account. So truly understand that I really, really, really don't care who want to go 50-50. I'm not doing it. I won't discuss it with a man. I won't entertain it. In fact, if he even came to me and presented 50-50 or that he believes in going in 50-50, that's the way I would bet a man, and he just wouldn't be nowhere near me. I can't do anything with a man who needs me to help him with his bills. I can't.
It just doesn't give masculinity to me. It doesn't. It gives man baby or man child, but mostly
it gives child.
It's just not very masculine. It's like you're really, and then they want women to be like independent and alleged 50-50, but there's literally no such thing as 50-50. Again, when there's men involved, if you're in a relationship and there's men and there's women, it's not 50-50. As soon as the guy see that a woman does anything that has anything to do with feminine housekeeping, cooking, or doing their laundry, all of a sudden she becomes a slave, regardless to if he's used to
and the studies pan out that way too.
Regardless to if he lived by himself and he's been doing it by himself for years. As soon as a woman steps in and starts doing, even she's just doing hers, he's literally going to start leaving his plate around, waiting for her to pick it up and go take it and clean it. He's literally going to take his clothes off in the bathroom and leave them on the floor and wait for her to pick them up. Like, even if he is this responsible dude that's been in the army, that's been doing it himself, he's going to slowly but surely stop doing it because now he has a woman, and naturally the woman is the nurturer, so naturally she's going to be nurturing and he's going to allow her to do it, which means 50-50 is out of the door at that point.
Well, go ahead, Axina. I'm sorry, it was your turn.
I was just gonna say thank you. I was only gonna say that, I mean, that's true what you're saying, that might happen, but I mean, I've dated guys who would leave their stuff around, and I've dated ones that would actually make the bed. I would get out of the bed and leave it, and he'd make the bed and pick up stuff after. Like, it really honestly kind of depends on the person. Yeah, and because some people are neat freaks,
but you're not like a super nurturing. I mean, you kind of are though.
Yeah, I can be hella nurturing. Yeah, but the thing is,
Xtina just has a hard exterior, but I'm pretty sure she softens up. It's just like me. People think I'm cold and emotionless, and it's like, I still have feelings. I can still nurturing and sensitive and vulnerable. Oh, they know
Sin, it's like
yesterday
this.
because I was on Patreon.
Sin,
Because
it
I had
boils
a
down to
full-on
this.
breakdown on Patreon.
I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is my Patreon supporters, they got to see me being vulnerable because I was talking about some stuff that triggered me. And, you know, some stuff y'all know the situation when I was SA'd and the fact that I'm still not over it is still a very much open wound. And it just really just got to me yesterday. It really did. Like, even now it's difficult to talk about, so I'm just not going to. But, yeah, I show vulnerability in spaces that are safe and conducive for vulnerability. And so the people who are in the environment, that's why I plan to stay on Patreon, because it is that type of environment where you can be vulnerable. Live on YouTube, absolutely not. People live on YouTube will never see me. They will never see me in a vulnerable position. They just won't. And the reason why is because being on YouTube is not a space that is really conducive to your vulnerability. It's highly toxic. There's a bunch of people running around acting like they have undiagnosed mental illnesses, and it's just really not the environment for it. It's not. But sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying. It was something about how awesome my relationship is and how I don't agree with you guys, but I forget the particular particularity. Oh my God, I can't speak today.
Yeah, he seems pretty nice too. He does. He seems like a nice man.
But it's not like I haven't been with a douchebag. I mean, the thing is, when someone stops being who they presented themselves to me, that's when it's time for me to reevaluate my life.
Right.
And I'm a Gemini, so you know I do that promptly.
And you chose better instead of choosing black. So I think that's something that women need to do.
No. Let's not get it twisted. Because when I chose black, I still chose good. I did. The only reason why the relationship ended was because he wanted.
Teach us how to, because the law of probability says we most likely, if we encounter a black man, is going to be the same black man. That's just based on the law of probability. But if you are able to, then please educate a sister, because I would like to.
The thing is, I don't think it's so much about educating anybody. To tell you the truth, it's about vibing. I guess if I was going to educate you, I'd just say, pay attention to the red flags, and the red flags ain't the same for everyone. And so pay attention to your intuition. Actually listen to yourself. Like, the thing is, we have instincts. We just don't pay attention to them because we see what we want to see and we hear what we want to hear. But the thing is, listen. Yeah. We all have it. Listen. And also, don't be super superficial. Literally know what you want. And if you know what you want, it will come to you, because I know it sounds like bullshit. It really does. But the thing is, all I can say is know what you want and see what happens. And I don't mean just say, oh, I want to be happy, or I want someone to love me. Like, you got to know what you want. Yeah, what does that look like to you? Know exactly what you want. And a lot of people are fascinated with knowing what they don't want. And you know what? Concentrating on what you don't want, the only thing that's going to do is bring it to you. Concentrate on what you want. If you concentrate on what you want,
I need to take that advice, because I usually focus on what I don't want.
Concentrate on what you want.
Your job right now.
When you see what you don't want, you're not going to see that. It's out of your face because you're trying to concentrate on what you want. You know, and I mean, if you do that for a long time, you'll start manifesting the stuff you want to you.
And what I don't want is the 50-50 man. That's what I don't want.
No. Because the thing is, how can you have any femininity and relax in any kind of, like, it takes a while to even be able to calm yourself and soothe yourself enough to embrace your femininity without,
and also, can you even honestly trust a man that even requests for you to do anything 50-50? Like, how can you trust him? Because that's not giving I love you, I want to protect you, I want to take care of you.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm not going to say you can't trust. I'm not going to say you can't, because there are a lot of different kinds of relationships. I'm just gonna say there's a lot of different kinds. That's fine. But that's your opinion on that relationship. That kind of relationship is not for you. Just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's gonna be negative for the next person. Some people,
it's not for me either.
Like Sam said, Some people want to do 50-50. I've met women. Listen, let me say, I've had friends that they want to because it makes them feel some kind of way.
In my humble opinion,
oh my God! I know your opinion.
50-50
Okay, never
because
mind.
they don't feel safe enough for a dude to take care of them.
Okay, thank you. But what I was saying is, the women that I've known that want to do 50-50 is just because they want, it's something about them, like their masculine energy that they want to embrace that makes them feel, you know how men feel productive when they're taking care of themselves, and when they feel productive when they're taking care of someone else. Well, there are women that are just like that, and I'm not going to say she's this and she's that because she feels productive and she wants to do this, makes her feel like a whole woman going, and that's her femininity, and that's how she does my femininity.
Oh my
I don't want to do all that. You know, I don't want to do all that.
35 and you're doing 65, like glowing.
Yeah, no. See,
that's about. Are you?
Yeah, I've been in a 50-50 relationship, and 50-50 relationship for the woman quickly turns into her being the provider. And so the reality is, if you don't
have boundaries, it totally can. If you don't have boundaries and stick to your boundaries, it sure as hell can turn into that. But if you actually have boundaries and stick to your boundaries, it won't turn to that.
Yeah, and I would venture to say that most, if we go by social media and how Black women are responding, most Black women will go 50-50 with a man. They will, if that means, if not going 50-50 means that they won't have a man, then they'll go 50-50. I prefer no man to a man 100%. Who needs me to subsidize his rent. Because really what it's a rent subsidy. That's what Black men are asking for. They're asking for women to provide them a rent subsidy.
Yeah.
they're the
women don't get out there. Don't get out there and get tricked by some dude just because he's not Black and you want to move into here. Y'all don't get tricked just because he's not Black. I just want to put that out.
Okay, so we already talk about having standards, expectations, and boundaries regardless to the race of man. So that's something I'll always promote. You wouldn't just have standards, expectations, and boundaries with Black men and then not white men. That would be foolish. You obviously need to have them regardless
with all of them. Because they all have something up their sleeve. It's just a little bit different. That's what you need to understand.
But what really is different is that white men are socialized very differently than Black men. So Black men are not socialized into any form of manhood. They're not. There's nothing in the community that would socialize Black men into any real manhood. And this is why
of them don't have a father. It would definitely need to be.
Exactly. And that's why. That's why. But even if they do have a father, what is the father teaching them? Because if you got a father like T.I. with his son Kane running around, then obviously the father being there in all situations doesn't really matter, nor doesn't give the male children a sense of manhood if the father does not have a sense of manhood. So it's not just because these males are not in the home, it's because they not in a home and they don't have any sense of manhood at all. They just don't. It's okay for them. That's why I think they are I'm gonna play this video after I say this. So please hold y'all's commentary until then. But the reality of it is that Black men do not have a sense of manhood. They don't, even when they come from a home where the father is present. And that's because they're lacking in manhood. They said that when they were enslaved, that's when their manhood was stripped from them. I don't remember a date and time when they got their manhood back. So as of now, this group of men have absolutely no manhood. What happens is, because Black women want Black men, we pretend that they have manhood, but they're really not. Because in every situation where I lived with a man, or if I was dating a man and he didn't have what I had, I thought poorly of him. And that's why it was very easy for me to walk away from them, because at the end of the day, they weren't really contributing anything to my life. And even if they weren't contributing anything to my life that I can bring myself. So therefore, they really didn't have a lot of value to me beyond being like a warm body and some companionship. And I'm being 100% honest. I'm being 100% honest.
Wow.
These men had very little value to me. And that's because they weren't, I mean, value and dependence is based on provision. Need is based on provision. You don't need anyone who provides nothing to you. And you're likely not going to value something that does nothing for you. Even with machines, even with technology, we only value it to the extent that it's working. Once it's not working, we throw it away and discard it. So in every part of life, you have to provide something. If I'm subsidizing your rent by going 50-50 with you, I'm subsidizing this man's income at that point, because it's me relieving him of 50% of his financial burden. It's not him relieving you of 50% of yours. Most Black women are more self-sufficient than Black men. This is a statistical fact. Most Black women got more money than Black men, despite Black men, yes, getting paid a higher wage because they are males. Black women are more employed. Black women are in better positions because they go educate themselves. Therefore, Black women have more money than Black men do. Black men are asking Black women to subsidize their income. And I'm just not going to do that. But I want y'all to listen to what this man says, and then we can all talk about it. It's a very short video, so let me just play it.
I don't think a woman should ever marry a man that does not have a mind to 100% provide for her. If you sit down and you have a conversation with a man as a woman, and he's sitting there, he's bringing up 50-50, I want you to come up with 50, I'm gonna come up with, he's not a masculine man. If I were a woman, I would dismiss any man that came up with a conversation about 50-50, because he's lacking somewhere in terms of his masculinity. I don't think a woman should ever marry a man that...
And he is lacking in terms of his masculinity. He just is. Every dude that I went 50-50 with was they ended up being toxic, demeaning, trying to lower my value and bring me down to their level just because they couldn't provide for themselves. I won't go through that again. I just won't. I think with relationships, experiences, you have to learn from your mistakes. And it was a mistake to go 50-50 with any man. It just was. If any woman want to, you can. I'm not telling you that you can't. I'm just telling you from my experience, it does not pan out well. The one time that I was evicted, it was because I was in a 50-50 relationship with a man. And we didn't get evicted because I couldn't pay my part. We got evicted because he couldn't pay his. And so therefore, I will never do that again. I won't get in any lease with a Black man. I don't with any man, really. I don't see a point I just don't see a point in going 50-50. I really don't. I think rather than having a 50-50 conversation, perhaps everybody should live on their own. The problem is, though, Black men can't afford to live on their own. They can't. So this is why they're all over the internet telling Black women they want them to subsidize their income by going 50-50 with them. And even though we see it in this chat box, a lot of Black women denying it. And I'm not saying anybody is lying, because if y'all are in here saying y'all not gonna give 50-50, I can believe you. Most Black women will, though. And not only will most Black women go 50-50, but statistically, most Black women will be the sole provider and will provide for a man in a marriage. So even if you're in a marriage and he's the sole provider, the labor distribution is still going to be unequal. Even if he's paying for all the bills, even if he's paying them, this is a statistical fact. Even if the man is paying all the bills, the labor distribution is still unequal. It's still unequal. The woman is still doing more, even if the man does pay 100% of the bills. So if you're paying 50% of the bills, that just don't make no sense. Like, financially speaking, that would be dumb. Business wise, that would be dumb, because it's lopsided. It's not in your favor. And I'm not about to be in a situation to where I'm benefiting the man. I'm not going to benefit you with my labor. I'm not going to benefit you with my finances. We can build something together where you're equally contributing, but there will be no sin subsidizing your income. That won't happen. I don't want a man enough to pay for one. I don't want one enough. There are some women who do. They want a man so much that they'll take one who don't have any money or who's broke. I don't understand that. I was doing that when I was 17 and into my early 20s. And well, not 17, because I wasn't even dating at 17. I was doing that when I was 18 and all the way up into my early to mid 20s. I just simply am not willing to do it again. And if that means me not having a man, I'm completely fine with that. I'm completely fine.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of people that are willing to do it. But they're the same kind of women that are willing to propose to a dude. So and then there's a lot of pansexual, no gender type things going on. So I'm wondering if it has to do something to do with that. Like they're just saying, okay, well, I don't do gender norms, or I'm a feminist, and so I feel like, you know, I have the power to take care of myself. And there's a lot of dudes on there shaming women for expecting them to pay the bills, because there's like a lot of posts where the women are like, oh, if I've you know, changed my own tires, changed my oil change, took out my own trash, paid all my own bills, took myself out to eat, made myself, you know, gratified myself, what do I need a man for? And they're just like, oh, good job, it sounds like you're adulting. And there's like every dude on there is like, oh, welcome to adulthood, you're taking care of yourself, that's what you're supposed to do. And but she's saying if she's gonna do all those things in a relationship with a dude, why would she need a dude? And he's gonna say, welcome to adulthood. It's like, no, welcome to turning into your own man while you still have a man. Like that's what she's doing while she allegedly has a man. She's turning into her own man. She's doing everything that her man's supposed to be doing for her, but then still having a man. Like, make it make sense.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but I do know I'm getting some more mods for y'all that are maybe wondering why I'm so close to the screen. I'm trying to find some mods. But the thing is, most women are of the mindset that they really want to be married. They really want to be with a man. And if they need to be with a man, because they'll just convince themselves that they're building. How do you build with a man who can't even provide for himself, who can't even pay bills fully? I don't understand how you would be building with that type man. In my experience, it wasn't a building situation. It was literally a man getting an easy ride because he could not obtain the things that I could obtain. He couldn't. None of them could. None of them could. And it did make me look poorly on them as a man. Even if it wasn't me thinking that way about them consciously, it was definitely subconscious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because every man that I walked away from, there was nothing in me that wanted to turn around and go back to him because I didn't feel like there was anything to go back to. And I think this is kind of like a flaw that a lot of men have, is where you will be in a situation with them, and based on their presence and the fact that they're not bringing anything to you, they're literally putting themselves in a position to where they serve no purpose. So then if they act out because they haven't established a need, because they don't provide anything, they'll want you to come back. But then it's like, well, you didn't give me anything to come back to. Right. And that's the problem. And this is why I say men do not think logically. You can tell they don't think logically based on the way in which they navigate relationships. They don't think they don't think logically, nor do they do risk analysis on their relationships to find out if the woman that they're losing, if they're going to be able, if what they're losing is going to be available in the dating marketplace. Usually it's not. Usually what they're leaving is not present again in the dating marketplace, or if it is present, it's not available to them. So to me, men don't really think smartly. They don't think rationally about relationships. And if they did, they wouldn't be running around here complaining all over the place. They say that women are illogical, but yet if you listen to what women are complaining about, which is men not being men are not stepping up to the mantle of manhood, you have men complaining that women won't submit to them. And it's like, okay, so you're complaining because you can't get a woman to cooperate with you. That's a you problem. It's a global problem when men are not stepping up to the mantle of manhood, which is not what they're doing. Everybody globally, women globally are complaining that men are not stepping up to the mantle of manhood. So men's complaints and women's complaints are very different. Add to that, the studies are actually showing that the decline in relationships is not being led by men, because men want you to believe, oh, you won't submit to me, so now I ain't go date. Women got too many expectations. No, that's not the issue. The reason that marriage is declining is because of women. The reason that a lot of men are single is because women don't want to date them. Every single data piece and statistic says that. So don't let these men try to convince you that somehow you are in the wrong. You're in the wrong if you keep choosing them, despite the fact that they're not actualizing as males, as men. Because if you accept the man who's not stepping up to the mantle of manhood, he'll never step up to the mantle of manhood, ever. He just won't. He will sit comfortably. Yeah, he won't have a reason.
He won't have any motivation. Why? It's too comfortable. Yeah.
Right. Why? Right. It's too comfortable. She already chose me. And by choosing me, she showed me that the nothing that I had was enough for her. So he's not going to strive for more because you already told him the less that you're bringing is enough. I've done that. I can admit that I've done that. And that's why I'm saying I won't do it again, because I've learned my lesson. You should not be going 50-50 with a man. Do it if you want to. Do it if you want to. I'm not saying I feel the same way about 50-50 as I feel about a black man who's dated women of no color. I won't deal with black men who's dated women of no color. I don't want you enough to come to allow you to be in my space after you've been with a woman of no color. And I don't even think for me, it's not even necessarily the woman of no color that's the problem. It's his mindset. It's the reason why he's attracted to her. It's the fact that he's going over there because he is a weak, conquered male who has not established any sense of self, who does not value himself. And when he looks in the mirror, he sees himself less than unless he's attached to a woman of no color. And he might feel like he's more than for 5 minutes. But rest assured, that woman of no color is going to let him know that he's beneath her. She's going to show it in many different ways, because at the end of the day, we're not going to pretend like these aren't the women who are raising the men that black men complain about. They are. Black men may ignore it, but I'm not about to ignore it. But so listen, Ella, and this is, I'll ask you, because I know that you were married, and when we get on the topic of marriage, it just really irks me. Not because I think that women shouldn't get married. I think women should get married if they want to, but I really think they should change their attitude towards marriage. Number one, marriage has absolutely nothing to do with God. Anybody who actually researches marriage, you would know marriage has nothing to do with God. It has absolutely nothing to do with God. The reason it was incorporated as a part of religion is so that women would rush to it thinking they are doing something that God wants them to do. There is an economy built up on marriage. You have to pay to get into it, and you got to pay to get out of it. So if you stop getting married, or if you decrease marriage, you're decreasing a economy within the U.S. economy. You're literally affecting a huge sub economy. So of course they're going to bring up all this data about how much better you are being married, but you're really not. You're really not. Whatever black people do, huh?
You do get cheaper car insurance.
Yeah, in the grand scheme, yeah, you can get cheaper car insurance, you can get tax write-offs. In the grand scheme of things, it still doesn't benefit women. It still doesn't benefit women.
Especially
and
if the only supposed to be paying for these anyway.
Huh?
If the dudes are supposed to be paying for these things anyway, he's getting a discount, not a woman.
Let me help this person out who's too remedial to find a way out of here. This is why I say there's a bunch of people who act like they're running around these YouTube streets acting like they have undiagnosed mental illnesses, because you have to be mentally ill to come into the chat box of someone that you claim to not like. You're coming willingly. No one's making you. You cannot click on the video, but you gonna bring your mentally ill ass in here and say not send you back on YouTube. It was so peaceful. So wouldn't you be protecting your peace by not being in my chat box?
Makes sense to me.
If you don't go take your medication, Like this is not a mental institution. I think you're looking for a different sector of YouTube. You need to go where all of the other mentally ill people congregate. You don't get to come be mentally ill over here. So because you couldn't get your dumb ass out my comment section, I just got you out there. I did you a favor. I helped you because your mental illness is preventing you from avoiding spaces that you feel like are not peaceful. So since you wouldn't remove your mentally ill ass, I had to do some charity. Like, this is why I don't want to be on YouTube, because I'm always having to do charity with these bandits and these banditas and removing them from the chat box since they're too stupid to do it on their own. Like, why would you go? Why were you even in here? Like, you came in here to put a comment to say it was better and you knew you stay over there. Like, it's really that simple. It's not hard.
Nobody snatched you up and dragged you in here.
Yeah, like it's just not even, it's not a hard thing to do. You just wouldn't come in here. But the reality is these haters are super fans. They literally cannot stay away. That's why when I see women in spaces who are like regurgitating what my content is about, but saying that they don't like me, yeah, you do. You do. You like me. And because the reason, and you watch me. And we know you do because you're regurgitating what I'm saying. The only way you know what I'm saying is if you're watching me. So I wish y'all super fans would just admit that you're a super fan at the end of the day. You are a super fan. You might not like me, but you have some kind of addiction to me. I must be very magnetic because you still keep finding your way over to somebody who you know for a fact don't like you. Now, it's questionable whether you like me or not, but we know for a fact I don't like you. So why are you here unless you're a fan and a mentally ill one? But so the only reason why I brought up marriage is because the mindset of Black women, and I'm saying Black women in the absence of any white person in these comment sections, okay? There's no white people in these comment sections making these comments. These are wholly Black people and mostly Black women. While I do agree with Black women, you should acknowledge how men purposely engage in reproductive oppression, and it appears that Black men engage in it the most. You should not think that marriage is going to solve this problem. I don't see how marriage would have stopped DDG and Halle Bailey from separating. I don't. And if anybody can explain to me how marriage would have stopped DDG and Halle Bailey from separating, please do, because last I checked, divorce was the means by which you separate yourself from a marriage, indicating marriage is in. At some point, there's going to be a separation. That's inevitable. Marriage is not going to change that. So I don't know why this is a marriage discussion. The only thing that would have changed if Halle Bailey married DDG, she would have had to pay for the divorce, and she would have likely had to pay him alimony, because I guarantee you she makes more at this point than he does. So if y'all wanted Halle Bailey to lose some of her wealth in addition to separating with DDG, then yeah, you should be bringing up marriage. But marriage doesn't last. If marriages last, you wouldn't have a divorce court. So clearly marriage doesn't last. So why is marriage being brought up in a separation situation between these two people? I get that y'all are saying he trapped her, and I agree. I do think men run around here purposely impregnating women that they want to maintain access to. But marriage wouldn't have solved this issue. There's nothing marriage would have done to stop these people from separating. It would have caused her to have to pay him, but they still would have.
It would have prolonged it, but that's pretty much it. It does take a while for you to be able to process a divorce, especially if there's children involved. So it would have prolonged it. And then I guess she has the title of saying, well, I was a wife. But besides that, if you're not really in it for bragging, right, so that people think that they deserve by being married and some time actually, I mean, for marriage, and if I have a child, I'm not going to say I would do it if I had a child. And then reason being is kind of, I wouldn't want my kids to have different last names, and I want to at least give in an attempt at assuming that our relationship is going to at least last until my child is 18, and
but
not,
they don't.
and again,
But most,
and I and again, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't guarantee that it's gonna to end, but it does make it harder for it to end. And so
it only makes it harder because you have to go to the court and get permission and pay, whereas with a boyfriend you can just walk away. So to me, and it's actually more complicated when you to end a marriage when you have children. It's actually more complicated.
Exactly. That's my entire point.
Like a single woman can just get up, take her kid, and go.
Yeah.
And then go establish a parenting plan. A married woman can't do that. A married woman cannot do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they can't just, married women can't just get up and take their kid and go. They can't.
But a single woman could do that, but the dude could also take that child and leave.
Yeah, the dude could. Most of the time they ain't though, because they don't even want the kid. Most of the dudes don't even want the kid like that. That's why they're not going for joint custody. So very few men are going to go for full custody of a child. They simply don't want the responsibility. But I just don't see how this is a situation. I guess I'm just not understanding why women are running around saying she should have got married. And I keep asking people in the comments, what would marriage have done to prevent them or to change this outcome? And they won't say. They're not saying. Like I've went to many different comment sections and asked.
There's no guarantee. The only guarantee is it'll prolong it. That's the only guarantee. It's that it'll prolong the divorce, but it doesn't prolong the separation. Like he can get up and leave out of your house that day as soon as he decides. He doesn't have to live there because he is still married to you, so he can still walk away.
Nelix Sulu said, well, put it this way, I would have never had a baby before marriage if I was her. Why? And I'm only asking because I genuinely want to understand the thought process. Why? Is it because you fear the social stigmas of being a woman with a child unmarried? Yes. Or is it because I know that's most likely what it is, but or do you think that the marriage would have somehow prevented a separation? I'm really just trying to see why, because I know that it's avoiding the social stigma. As much as Black women say they don't care about what other people say, they do. You care very much about society's opinion of you. And that's likely why a lot of Black women will get themselves in toxic marriages and stay in toxic marriages, especially if they have children, because they want to avoid the criticism of people that they don't even know. I couldn't care less about any of society's opinion on me getting married. If I don't want to get married, I'm not getting married. If I want to have 10 babies, I never would. But if I wanted to have 10 babies and not get married, I would just have 10 babies and not get married. It's like, I don't really care about what society thinks. What I care about is a man not having access to my money. That's what I care about. I care more about a man not having access to my money, because a child is going to be more disenfranchised living in a two-parent poverty home than they will be with a one-parent wealthy or financially stable home. Money matters when you're raising kids. You shouldn't be raising kids in poverty. You shouldn't be raising kids in the hood. These are things that I would be prioritizing over marriage. Y'all running around talking about marriage, but y'all married and raising kids in the hood. That I don't understand. That I don't understand. Like, why are you having kids in the hood? You don't care about raising your kids in the hood, which is highly stigmatized by society. But you do care about being married because you want the world to not think poorly about you because you're married, when if you're Black, they're going to think poorly about you anyway. 9 times out of 10.
Another reason I think that is the fact that they also, another stigma on top of that is that you need to be married pretty much before you're 30. And so pretty much before your frontal lobe fully develops, where you can actually decipher a reasonable reason to get married, or even completely when you can actually completely even think about what decisions you're going to make and why you're making them. You're like following this societal norms and deciding to do something just because that's what you're supposed to do. Like, oh, women are supposed to be married and they're supposed to be married before 30. And obviously before 30, you're not even smart enough to figure out what kind of man you want. Really, you're not.
Because it's a guaranteed economy. If they could, the fact that they were able to get women to desire something that doesn't benefit them and depletes their income, actually. Because if you look at the marriage stats, it says the women only benefit financially in a marriage when they are in the marriage, meaning when they leave the marriage, most women, this is regardless to race, most women do not financially benefit when the marriage ends. That's based on the data that I looked up on marriage. And I did a whole video on it. I did a whole video on it on YouTube. It also says the only way women will be happy in a marriage is if the marriage quality is good. If you're a slave and you're doing most of the work and carrying most of the burden and you ain't getting no help, then obviously the marriage quality is not good. And that's why a lot of women, mostly white women, because they tend to be very honest about marriage. Black women don't. There's only one black woman I've heard speak honestly on YouTube about marriage, and that's Bondi Blue. She's the only married black woman I know of who speaks honestly about marriage. White women tend to be way more honest about marriage than black women. And I think maybe it's because white women are married more. Even after a divorce, they're still more likely to be married a second time than black women are. So I think that's maybe why white women can talk honestly about marriage, because it's really not a commodity in their community. I would venture to say the majority of them get married. In the black community, that's not the case. Most black women don't get married, and that's because most black men are not interested in marrying black women. So that puts black women in a seat of desperation, where not only are they willing to enter into toxic marriages, but they're willing to stay in them because they fear ostracization. Like, people have been ostracizing me for my opinion on marriage for at least a good 4 years on YouTube. I still don't care. My opinion still has not changed. Y'all can throw out, oh, she promoting baby mamaism. You can say whatever you want to. My opinion is not going to change. Marriage doesn't benefit black women based on the data that I did. It doesn't benefit black women. Therefore, I'm not going to promote that black women get in a situation that is not beneficial to them. I don't care if they have kids. I'm not running around here of the mindset that you can't have kids out of wedlock. I don't care about any of that. I don't have the same religious beliefs that y'all do. I grew up as a Christian. I discarded it because I don't agree with it. And there's no amount of shaming that's going to change my opinion about marriage. If y'all think I'm a baby mama, okay, that's fine. Okay, that in my life, but the quality of my life is not depleted by anybody's opinion. It's just not. So I'm going to keep my opinion. I don't think black women should get married. And I think Halle Bailey would have been dumb to get married to DDG. She absolutely should not have married them. And every example we have of a black marriage is janky, full of cheating, full of diseases, side babies, fighting side chicks. If you go do all of that, you should be doing that single. I don't understand why you're dealing with cheating in a marriage. I don't. And there's no woman who explained to me why they're dealing with cheating in a marriage. So let me ask y'all in the chat box, why are women dealing with cheating in a marriage? I don't get it.
Again, it's that same thing. Oh, I got the ring. He's my man, but he married me. You know, it's like, you still sound stupid. You still look stupid. You weren't through the same emotional distress, but you're only worried about the fact that you got the ring. And you think that gives you status. But it's like, you're still dumb. You're still getting cheated on. Like, what? Yeah. Now you're just going to be harder for you to get rid of this dude. Unless, no, maybe. Okay, this will be the benefit. The only benefit I can think of is if they have some really good life insurance on this dude and he cheated and then he has an accident and the wife is the beneficiary. Or he owns a bunch of stuff and he's cheating and he has an accident, and since she's the wife, she's the beneficiary and she gets access to all his stuff.
Assuming he makes her the beneficiary.
No, honey. In some states,
a married woman is not only if he doesn't have a will. If he doesn't have a will, then it automatically goes to her. If he has a will, it goes to whoever is in his will.
In some states, it doesn't matter because everything has to be. So the thing about being married is he's pretty much hers. He belongs to her and she belongs to him. Even if there's parents and stuff, if she didn't sign off on the will that he created, or if there's no prenup, she still gets everything. He didn't.
No,
his will
that's
doesn't
not
matter.
true. That's not
Honey.
true.
And community
Ella, that's not true.
It depends on the
Ella,
state.
that's not true because a will doesn't have anything to do with a marriage. A will does not have anything to do with marriage. A will is about here are my assets. This is who I want them to go to.
Right.
A will will override whatever. A will in a prenuptial agreement will override anything the woman thinks she getting from that man.
With the prenup it would. Without the prenup it would not.
No, they would go by the will. They would go by the will. If there's no prenup, they're gonna go by the will.
Yes, if there's no prenup, they will go by the will. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying a will because there's been many situations where a man died and he removed his wife as the beneficiary of his will and she got absolutely nothing. Add to that, depending on what state you're in, they see you as one person. But as surely as I worked in the healthcare, hold on for a second. But as surely as I worked in the healthcare industry, I wasn't even allowed to give a man's wife his health information just because she's his wife. No, they said no. He has to send you a form giving consent to give his medical information to his wife. I was not able to just disclose that. I was going to, and then a supervisor stopped me and said, "No, you cannot give his HIPAA information to his wife just because he's no." They said no.
HIPAA is almost the only law that separates the wife and the husband from being.
The HIPAA law probably is because you cannot give a man his wife's information or vice versa just because they're the wife. So there are some stipulations in which you're not recognized as one unit, but I do get what you're saying. Either way, I still don't feel like marriage is the benefit. That being said, I don't want legal control of another person. That's not anything that interests me because a lot of people like to glorify whatever they think is the benefits. But the reality is if you are married and that man has some debt, who do you think got to pay that debt?
You do.
You do. Exactly. You're the wife. So whatever debt he dies with, that's you. You get to pay that. Whatever child support he dies with, you get to pay that.
Exactly.
Because you're his wife.
Mm-hmm.
You get to pay it. And that's more likely the situation with a lot of black women because black men don't really have any money. Black men aren't setting them up with wills and protecting them financially. They just aren't. And any black wife who's saying that they do is a liar. Because the majority don't. The exception does. There are a few women who do get alimony. Vast majority don't. And the amount of them who get alimony is so low that it's pointless to even mention it because most black women will never see a piece of alimony from their marriage. They just never will. They never will. Statistically, they won't. But I do get people criticizing DDG and saying that he trapped Halle Bailey. I do think that's the case. I think black women should really protect their wombs. And I think that we're not really protecting our wombs. We're not.
Been the culture for a long time, black men trapping, and I'm not going to just say black men, men of a certain culture decide they want to trap a woman. They know that they have access to you for at least the next 18 years because your child is going to want to be with them and you're going to want to have your child with the father. So a lot of men, they go by trapping women to they know that they can have access to them. If they like you enough to keep you in your life, but they don't want to marry you and they don't want to commit to you and they don't want to provide for you or protect you, what they'll do is they'll knock you out because then they know they have access to you.
Richard Jukowski said the purpose of marriage is for the protection and good health of children first. That's actually not true. And said, and then the protection of women bearing those children. That's absolutely not true. And then said men come last, benefiting from the good health of his wife and children. That part is true, but the men coming last is not true. The reality is marriage was created for political power and wealth. That's what marriage was created for. When marriage was implemented, they didn't care who loved who. It wasn't about love. It's about, I need to stop this war over here. So let me go ahead and have one of my family members marry one of theirs so that we can merge political power and stop being unified. That's what marriage is for. It's not about love. What people, if you're going to sell it to the masses and build an economy, then you have to trigger them emotionally and you have to trigger them religiously. So that's why then marriage became implemented in religion. It does not originate in religion. So no, God did not create marriage. Some white men did. Black men are laying claim that they did it, so fine. Africans created marriage, fine. We'll just say, even though there's no evidence of that, according to Umar, Africans created marriage, fine. They sure don't participate in it a lot, so that's interesting. But bottom line is, marriage is for wealth and political power. Y'all are making it about love because y'all are emotional. And emotional marriages obviously don't last. They're highly unsuccessful. So anybody telling you marriage was created for the protection of women and children, no, women and children weren't even a thought when marriage was created, aside from their own participation in it and producing a child. That's it. Other like women's, I don't even know where you're getting it from, that marriage was about protecting women and children. You probably couldn't even tell me how marriage would protect women and children today in 2024. We almost going, and 2024 is on its way out. And I guarantee you this Richard dude cannot give me one example of how a marriage protects women and children in a manner that is different from how women and children are protected anyway. Please tell me. He said, do not have sex before marriage means don't have children before marriage. It sounds like y'all created marriage to control women's sexuality. That's what it's given. Yeah, it's given. We want women to get married because she's going to give us free labor. She gonna have our kids and we get to control her. And she gonna be a slave running around this house taking care of man, home, and children. How does that not equals a slave? You're just a voluntary slave, but you're a slave nonetheless. Because the reality is, if you are taking care of man, home, and children, who's taking care of you? Like, you're literally doing everything. You're literally doing everything. And I'm not willing to do that. So if a man comes and say, you're not marriageable or men don't want to marry you, okay, fine. Don't threaten me with a good time. You're essentially threatening me with a good time. Because I'll tell you right now, my energy is all I have to deal with. If I want to deal with a man's energy, I can deal with it. And when I don't want to, I won't. If I was in a marriage, I'm forced to deal with this man's energy, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to bind myself to a man. They are not that beneficial to me. I don't see them. Like, I guess I don't value men enough to ever marry one because I don't want to be legally bound to you. A child doesn't make me feel like I'm bound to you, because I'll take my kid and I'll leave with my kid, and then I'll get a court order so that I have sole custody over my kid so that I can leave and go anywhere without your permission, and then I'll still ignore your existence. And they can call it baby mama or not. I call it liberation. I call it freedom. I call it I'm not bound to no man, and a man is not about to act like he gets to control me either through marriage or a child. You're just not going to control me. I don't like being controlled, and marriage controls women, and I'm not about to get into no marriage. Y'all got me real twisted if you think I'm about to legally bind myself to a man. Please. It ain't gonna happen. But so this woman been going after DDG because she said that DDG trapped her, which I do believe that was the purpose of DDG, not to just trap her, but to ruin her career. And I believe that because that's what DDG said. He insecure and he wanted to sabotage her. So the reality is, he wanted to sabotage her by impregnating her. And DDG allowed him to because she allowed herself to get pregnant. If you weren't on birth control, then you allowed her pregnant. You wanted to be pregnant, as far as I'm concerned. So use birth control. But anyway, let's listen to what she's saying.
Because she got a kid, right? It's funny that you try to use me being a baby mama as an insult when you turn her into a baby.
Oh, okay.
Baby.
So she's
DDG definitely tried highly with that baby. And here,
so hold on, sorry. This is her original statement. DDG responds, and then she responds again. So here's her original statement.
Here's a little TikTok creator fund. CPMs is not that high for y'all to be sitting on here talking for 2 minutes about me. You got 2 kids. I looked on your Instagram, I looked on your TikTok, everything. You got 2 kids with no baby daddy.
That's not possible. So
right.
But you worry about me.
Is he? Did
Don't
he
make
die?
sense to me. Y'all need to stop, bro. I be seeing what y'all be saying. Y'all be thinking I don't be seeing, but I be seeing. It's like, bro, I'm a father. I'm in my child's life. Worry about your baby daddy. Why are you worried about me? I don't understand it.
So Lisa said, I'm doing it. I'm pausing this because I'm going to go to the next slide. Lisa said, but DNA is the real thing. Your child would have half of their father's DNA. You never know if a health condition pops up that requires your knowledge of the father side of the family. The reality is, if your kid have a health condition, they have a health condition, and the health condition would just be managed and treated. I don't know why you would need to keep a hold of the father. If a kid has a health issue, then both of y'all carried the gene for it. Like, obviously, like they wouldn't. With certain health issues, you don't need to go to the father. You know automatically that he carried a gene for it and she carried one. So you would just. Then at that point, you would just manage it and treat it because the person has the health issue anyway. I don't know why you would need to further look into a man's background when your kid already has the issue.
Right.
That I don't understand. The kid already got the issue. You don't need to. Why do you need to talk to y'all be finding ways to keep a hold of men that you don't need to keep a hold of. This is what I be talking about. Making
like pick up your scrunchie from my house when you break up type-ish.
Yeah, making excuses to deal with men that you don't have to deal with. The kid already has the health condition. So obviously both of y'all carry the gene for it because that's the only way the kid will get the health condition is if both parents carry the gene. The gene is going to be recessive. If it's a health issue, both parents would need to carry the recessive gene for the kid to have it. You don't need to look no further than the health condition itself. Like, stop trying to find reasons to keep a hold of men that you don't need to keep hold of. If the man is acting up, just like Megan said, if he act up, then I'm a pivot, period. I'm not about to stay around for a problematic man. I don't care. I can have 50 kids by him. I'm taking my 50 kids and I'm going. A kid is not a reason to stay in a relationship to me. I know y'all think that, but it's not. To me, it just ain't. You would do that. You would think about the health condition and the dad's DNA, even though your kid already got the health condition. It's probably been managed. You would think of that as the means of staying with a man. I wouldn't. I'm taking my kid and I'm going. That I will be a single mother before I deal with a problematic man. To me, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it to me. And I get that a lot of women probably don't understand that because that's not the mindset that they come from. They likely place a ton of value on men.
Well,
I just don't see a lot of value that men have.
I can answer that. When a woman have a child, we don't really realize that we need to be happy in order for our child to be happy and healthy. So we're sitting there thinking that our child needs their father. Yeah, our child needs their father. However, what they need more is a happy, healthy mother. And if their mother is unhappy and unhealthy, so because she's in this toxic relationship with a stressful dude, then she's gonna ruin the child anyway. So there's literally no point of being in that relationship. But she's staying in the relationship because she thinks she's helping the child, but really she's not.
Yep. I just don't believe in staying in toxic relationships. Dysfunctional relationships do not benefit children. And anybody who's saying it do is either a man who's trying to get a woman to deal with his problematic behavior or a woman who's trying to justify continuing to deal with a man who's engaging in problematic behavior. I'm not going to do it. And I really want Black women and black men to understand that, so that maybe they could stop pushing their belief system on me, because I'm not going to adopt your belief system. I don't think you have to be married before you have a child. I'm not going to promote marriage until the divorce rate lowers. Black people don't even know how to be in effective marriages, but they're running around promoting them. How are you promoting marriage and your divorce rate is 3 times higher than the national average? You should not be promoting marriage until you get that divorce rate down. Like, remember that Bandit sitting there talking about, well, we got to get this body count down. We got to get this body count down. We got to get this divorce rate.
This body count down.
Yeah, he was saying, well, and he was bucking his eye too. We got to get this body count down. We got to get that body count down. Sir, that's a discussion you need to go have with black men. Sir, right. That's not a discussion for black women. Black women are not contributing to the body count, sir. You need to get in the room full of black men and have that body count discussion with black men.
No, but
anybody who has an issue with the marriage rate, you need to pull black men into a room, talk to them about the marriage rate. Any absentee fatherism, don't come to me. Don't come to me talking to me about single mothers. Go talk to black men about why they keep creating single mothers. No one needs to come over here to have a discussion with me about what black men are doing or what black men are responsible for. So that means crime in the community, SA in the community, any type of femicide in the community, any type of infanticide in the community. Those are things that black men are doing. Don't bring it over here to me. Don't ask me about Chicago. Go ask black men. Don't ask me about no single mothers and how these males don't know how to be males. Go talk to black men. Don't come talking to me about black men's issues. I'm not here a dumping ground for black men's issues. I don't want to hear about no single mothers. Go take that over there to the manosphere and to the men who are creating them. Don't come talk to me about that. Because really, y'all should have been talking to Kevin Samuels about those single mothers, and y'all should not have let him say that it was because of welfare. I don't know how black men running these okie dokes. I really don't, but they running them. They are running them. Black men are running okie dokes. Okie dokes, it shouldn't even work, mind you.
I don't understand it, but they do have a strong they seem to have a very strong pull with their ignorance, because women are really falling for it, like literally left and right. And I don't know if I'm like you said, cognitive dissonance. It has to be because of the fact that we know for like in our core that the stuff that they're saying is bizarre. It doesn't make any sense. It's not rational. We know in our core that it's not true, but instead a lot of the time we still like, oh, okay, oh, if they say it long enough or loud enough or enough of them say it, then we just start believing it. And it's like, it's been bullshit, it looks like bullshit, it smells like bullshit, but since they keep saying it, then now it must be true since another dude said it. And it's like, what? No.
Okay, we gonna have to breeze through these topics, because really I should have been off of here 20 minutes ago, but let's listen to her clap back, because here's the thing. Y'all are sitting here, and not y'all, because y'all are not this woman, but for the people making these videos about DDG, yes, he trapped Hallie. Hallie let him at the end of the day. She let him. How did she let him? Because she willingly had unprotected sex with him. That is the route to having a child. I think Hallie wanted to have a child, likely. Hallie likely wanted to have a child. That's why she has one. I'm not going to be over here hounding DDG and asking her why he didn't marry her. To me, that's a stale, played out perspective. Oh, well, why you didn't marry her? How long are y'all going to run around here complaining that somebody didn't marry somebody with the divorce rate being 3 times higher? This should be embarrassing to black people. It should be
but the only thing that they should be worried about is if she actually wanted to marry him or not. Because, like, do we even know?
Right. Did Hallie say she wanted? That's what I'm saying. Did Hallie even say she wanted to marry DDG? I know she said she liked him. I don't know if she said she wanted to marry him. I ain't even heard Hallie mention anything about even wanting to be married. So this assumption that every woman want to get married played out. This assumption that if you get married, it's going to provide you some kind of protection from being a single mother played out and proven to be false. This notion that a marriage can't end played out. This notion that you will have father for your children, an active father, played out. No, you're not. The notion that you're going to get alimony or gain wealth from broke black men by marrying them, played out. All of them are played out. And quite frankly, I'm tired of hearing about marriage. I wish y'all would do something with this divorce rate. Because every time y'all talk to me about marriage, I'm gonna counter it with the fact that we're the only community whose divorce rate is astronomically high, and so high that we just look dumb promoting marriage.
Astronomically high, where it's benefiting like the woman every single time, or at least 75% of the time they're getting alimony, and you know they're being paid outside of the relationship, or their husband bought them a business, or you know her kids are in private school now. Like, is the quality of her life better than it was before she got married? That would be the factor, because like, yeah, who cares if you're getting a divorce if you're getting something out of it? But are you getting something out of it other than stress and wrinkles and gray hair and migraines?
And they get to say they have a husband.
Like what?
Ella, they get to say they have a husband. That's really all they want. All they really want to do is let the world know they have a husband, even though there's even no benefit in that. But hey, Pretty Love Jones, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for answering the question. Love Jones says she's talked about wanting to be married, and also said she wants lots of kids, but I agree, being married doesn't guarantee a thing. Thank you so much for letting me know that, because I don't really follow Halle Bailey and Chloe. I see some of their videos that come up on a timeline, but I don't really follow her to know what value she places on marriage. So if Halle Bailey wanted to get married, then the fact that she's not married, to me, is her fault. Why? Let me explain. Because if a woman wants to be married, she should not produce a child with a man until 100%. After she's married.
100%.
If you want a provider, you should not be settling for a man who can't provide. So if Halle Bailey wanted to be married, it's up to her to hold DDG to that expectation. She didn't hold him to the expectation that she had, so that's her fault. I mean, did DDG say he wanted to be married? Because if DDG didn't say he wanted to be married and Halle is the one who wanted to be married, then it's on her to make sure she's married before she produces a child with this man.
But she probably wanted to be married, and he made it clear that he wanted a kid, probably. But guess who got what they want? He got his kid, and she did not get married. And you know he wanted a kid because his kid is behind him in that video.
DDG appears to really want his child. He does. Right. He does appear to really want his child. So I honestly don't understand the huge issue with DDG. I think if you unpack the situation, it sounds like Halle should be being the one to blame for the lack of marriage, because she's the one who wanted it. I think I did hear to an extent DDG mentioning marriage, and it doesn't seem like DDG values marriage. No surprise there. Most black men don't, obviously, because they don't get married. So clearly they don't value it, or else they'd be getting married. Based on what I heard from DDG, it sounds like DDG doesn't place a lot of value on marriage. Halle Bailey does, so it was on her. It's on Halle Bailey to make sure she's married, or she's getting marriage from a man. If Halle Bailey decided that she wanted marriage, but she was going to produce a child, even if she don't get married, that's her fault. That's her fault. Huh?
He made sure he got what he wanted, so she should.
Yeah, he did get what he wanted. I think he probably just wanted to be tied to Halle Berry forever, and he got what he wanted. He is tied to her. He wouldn't be tied to her forever through marriage. Marriage is not an everlasting relationship. Again, the only everlasting relationship is being a parent. Because even if your child passes away or you pass away, there's a record that you were that parent and that child was yours. So there is no relationship that lasts except for parenthood. And I wish everybody, how is it that one group of people, this is really interesting to me, that the group of people who have the worst track record for maintaining relationships and marriage are the main ones promoting it. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me how you got this astronomically high divorce rate. What you should be doing rather than promoting marriage is promoting education on how to maintain a functional relationship, because clearly Black people do not know how to do that. So all y'all are doing is suggesting that they be financially irresponsible by tying themselves to a man who has nothing to offer them. Exactly. Love Jones said exactly. An anchor baby is giving "You're my baby mom, I won." I do want to point out that Offset is referring to Cardi B, who is still currently his wife. This is still Offset's wife, yet he's calling her baby mama. So y'all running around placing more value on marriage and the title of a wife than the man that you actually marry. Scrappy refers to his ex-wife as his baby mama. To them, you are their baby mama. You ain't even an ex-wife to them. But yet, Black women will run around and say, oh, ex-wives are better than baby mamas. No, ex-wife cannot be baby mama. Your ex-husband said you his baby mama. Cardi B's current husband said that's his baby mama. So y'all can go argue with Offset and go tell Offset, no, that's your wife. Offset said, this is my baby mama, I won. So if y'all not gonna go argue with these men about how an ex-wife is different with a baby mama, then you should be shutting up, because these men are saying that you ain't they ex-wife, you they baby mama. They said, you're my baby mama. And this is something that a lot of Black women don't want to get into their head. They want to live a fantasy. If these men don't even see you as an ex-wife, or they don't see a difference between an ex-wife and a baby mama, why are you running around trying to make a distinction between it, only for that man to then turn around and remind you that you are indeed his baby mama?
I have to validate that statement, because I was actually talking to my ex-husband, and he said, somebody walked by that he was talking to, and he was like, I'm talking to my baby mama, and I was like, what? And he was, and I was like, we're divorced, I'm your ex-wife, and he was just like, oh, it sounds better.
Right. And that's why black women want to do it, because it sounds better, because the ex-wife do sound better than the baby mama, even though you're in the same damn position.
But apparently to dudes, baby mama sound better than ex-wife.
Yeah, to them, that's why I'm saying they're not paying attention to these men. If the man ain't even giving you the title of the ex-wife, why would you go try to wave that title in women's face? You're waving a title in a woman's face that the man that you were with is not even giving you. That doesn't make any sense. Bottom line, you as baby mama. Let's play this video from DDG, and it's like, you his baby mama because he said you his baby mama. That's what the title he's giving.
Pretty much.
Well, TikTok creator fund CPMs is not that high for y'all to be sitting on here talking for 2 minutes about me. You got 2 kids. I looked on your Instagram, I looked on your TikTok, everything. You got 2 kids with no baby daddy.
Yeah, hold on for a second.
But you worry about me.
I feel like we didn't hear her clap back. Like, you said you were going to play it, but I feel like you didn't do it. I feel like we're not on the line anymore, or if we are, can anyone hear Cynthia? I can't hear her. Can anyone hear me? Oh, thank you for saying something. Oh, is she playing it now? We can't hear that, Cynthia. There's no sound.
Oh, I thought you guys would still be able to hear the audio even if I was muted.
Well, no, ma'am, we couldn't.
Yeah, well, because the audio is coming from the computer. So I'm sorry, y'all. I thought that I could mute my side and that y'all would still be able to hear the video. Sorry about that. I've been sitting here playing the video the whole entire time.
That's why I'm like, are you doing something? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, no, I was playing the video the whole entire time. I just thought y'all were able to hear it. I was like, let me go on mute so I don't have any background feedback, and apparently y'all weren't able to hear it. So
Not at all.
I'll stay off mute and I'll play the video again so we can move on, because we got to get into these new Diddy allegations, and I got to get into some bandit terrorism. So let's play this video and then we'll move on. Sorry, y'all.
Because she got a kid, right? It's funny that you tried to use me being a baby mama as an insult when you turned her into a baby mama your damn self. Why would I have my ex-husband on my page? And I understand, I know my kids look different, they're different complexions, but I promise you, one baby daddy, 2 kids, was married. Did you ever marry that girl? Was there a secret wedding I'm unaware of?
What's the point in throwing around marriage if you're no longer married?
Because you got the ring. It's all about the conquering.
Like this is the thing that I just be like I really just be thinking like, okay, ma'am, you're no longer married. So I don't know.
The reason being is because dudes are like, I don't know how much of the manosphere you're into and that you listen to what these dudes are saying on here, but like on almost every Facebook post where there has black men in there and a lot of white men too, they're all talking about, man holds the power over marriage. You didn't get married. Oh, you have children by several different men. But you still didn't get married though. But did he marry you though? Like the dudes on there. I don't know.
Because women refuse. I mean, white women will. That's the thing. It's not white women that won't. So when I say that women refuse, I'm gonna have to largely say black women here, because white women are very loudly and clearly saying why they don't want to get married and why they don't value marriage. So the bottom line of it is that why are black women sitting out here allowing these men to believe they have power over you through marriage? Even if I did value marriage, the fact that black men control it, I would not value it anymore. That's when I would stop valuing it. Because if somebody think they have control of something that you want, they're going to leverage that to the fullest extent. And that is what black men are doing. Black men know they don't value marriage. They know they don't care to get married, but they know that black women overvalue marriage. So they use it as a weapon against black women, and black women refuse to remove black men's ability to weaponize marriage against them. Because at the end of the day, black women do think marriage is the badge of honor. They do. And they do care deeply about whether society sees them as a baby mama or a wife, even though overall society could not care less whether black women are baby mamas or wives. They really don't care at all. They truly do not care. White people are not treating married black women any differently than they are single and childless, or single with the child. There's no difference in the approach. There's no difference in the treatment. So why would you even care? It ain't like they running around throwing black women all of these, there's no parade to commemorate married black women. Nobody is setting aside certain benefits and saying, here, we go give these to married black women and we just go deprive it from single black women. You can get a tax credit by being married, and she can get a tax credit for having a kid. And I think the tax credit for having a kid is higher than that for being married.
Yeah.
I think the child tax credit. Yeah, I think the child tax credit is higher than whatever you get as a married couple. She get a child tax credit. So the reality is anything that a married woman can get, a single woman can get. And I think that this is very difficult.
When it comes to tax, you actually have better benefits, even if you're married and if you're filing separate.
Yeah, I really think that there's a level of cognitive dissonance here. I think that Black women are having a very difficult time embracing the truth about marriage and religion. Those two things got a stronghold on Black women. Marriage and religion got Black women in a very tight chokehold, and they're having a very difficult time releasing themselves from that chokehold. And I don't think most of them, I don't even think they want to be released.
I can tell you what it is. I can tell you what it is. Women,
What?
Black women, has been status wise, we have not had, you know, the status that we deserve. We have not been respected for our greatness. We have not been our beauty haven't been respected unless it's been stolen by you know, somebody of another color. We have not had the status that we deserve. So when you actually get status for something, and it's like, oh, I can get status for being married even if it doesn't benefit me, it's that status. Oh, I'm actually better than, you know, even better than someone, even though you're not better than this person. It's like it makes your ego feel better because you're being respected for something that you're actually contributing. Even if it's not.
African Goddess said there is more legal protection in marriage. Can you explain to us what are the more legal protections in marriage? Can you explain them to us? And then explain to how single people don't have access to that. And I'm gonna need some proof. So it's like, well, what are the legal protections in marriage? First of all, African Goddess. And hopefully you can answer, because if you don't, I'm gonna have to block you, because I'm gonna have to assume you're trolling. And the only reason why I do this is because I don't like people to come and just say anything because they think it sounds good. You're gonna need to prove it, or you're just gonna have to get up out of here. Because I the only thing I can do is I can assume that you're a troll if you don't want to back up what you're saying. So African Goddess, I'm gonna have to ask you to name the legal protections that you get in marriage that you don't get out of the single person, because there's a constitutional clause that says you got to get equal protection of the law. So let me know so that I can sue the government, because if married women are getting more protections, more legal protections than single women, then that means single women have a cause for a violation of their constitutional rights, because it's supposed to be equal protection of the law. So if married women are getting these benefits, let me know, because then I got a case for my constitutional rights being violated.
Like, the only how that can be possible that a married woman has better single or better legal rights or whatever is her husband is super rich and able or is a lawyer.
No, it's not. African Goddess said if you split up, it's easier to divide the property, kids, etc. No, it's not. It's harder.
It is
harder. And we literally just went over the fact that no, it is harder. A married woman cannot just take her kids and leave and go get a custody order. A single woman can. So no, what you're talking about is a disadvantage for married women. It is a disadvantage to married women when they want to separate and they have children. It's easier for a single woman. It is much easier for a single woman to end a relationship with a child than it is for a married woman. So what you're saying is not true. Tell me the legal protections. Because the Constitution says that there's equal protection of the law. You're saying they're giving special privileges to married people. So you're basically saying that single people are getting their constitutional rights infringed on. Now, I don't know, African Goddess, if you're on the continent or if you in the U.S., but I'm telling you, in the U.S., that's not true. You said you're African Goddess, so maybe you're speaking about some laws on the continent regarding marriage, but I can certainly assure you that in these divided states of America, that ain't true. That's absolutely not true. And you can go ask any attorney, is it easier for a single woman with children to end a relationship than a married woman? And you will quickly be told it is harder for a married woman. And you don't even need to ask an attorney. Go into family court and walk into the section about custody order. Whole thing in most of those courtrooms that says if you are married, you cannot initiate a custody order on your own. So go ask. I want y'all to go ask, because it's harder. It is harder. And I don't want any woman thinking it's easier for her to leave a man with a child if she is married. No, it is not. It is easier for single women. And actually, the marriage becomes a burden to the woman upon the end of it because of the fact that it's difficult for her to navigate around. Because she got to get that man's permission for almost anything. A single woman don't. You got to get that man's permission if you even want to leave the state. If you want to change their school, you have to get their permission. A single woman don't. She don't got to get this man permission. And anybody who tell you that they do is lying. Yes, the man has right to his children, but the woman does too. She got the same right that you do, meaning she can take that kid and leave without your permission. The only time she would need your permission is if you already had initiated a court order. Then she would have to get the permission. But in the absence of any court order, a single woman can get up and disappear with that child and ain't nothing the man can do. There's absolutely nothing. You can get your child and leave and go to another country, and there is nothing that man can do except complain. A married woman cannot do that. Yeah, a married woman does not have that ability. No, she can't. And the reason why it's not the reason it's not a violation to her constitutional rights is because she voluntarily engaged in a contract. That's why. You're bound by a contract. The single woman is not bound by any contract. So you're lying, African goddess. And maybe you're not lying. Maybe you're just severely misinformed. And it could be that. But anybody who telling you that it's easier for a married woman to divide assets, no, absolutely not. These women out here, marriage is giving them a headache upon divorce. That's why most of them say they will never remarry. But so Diddy, first of all, Diddy's third attempt at bail was denied. We don't need to get into the article. We already knew that ain't a judge in New York letting Diddy out. It just is what it is. I don't know why his attorney keeps trying to get him out. If two judges already denied this man bail, why do you think a third one is going to go basically undo what two judges did, which would cause conflict?
Maybe he's gonna try to find one that'll take a bribe.
They are what a fourth? He gonna give it a fourth time? Because then you gotta ask, like how many denials is enough for this attorney?
No, he's probably trying to find a judge that will take a bribe.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Diddy getting an advantage here. Diddy is getting an advantage here. The fact that there was 3 attempts made for him to get out of prison, most people ain't getting this.
Right. Especially not with 3 different judges. Like different judges, okay. Yeah, they're paying some money for all of this to happen. So he's
this is an astronomical amount. Like I'm trying to figure out, like how many times are you going to appeal and try to get this man out? And like now it's already 3 denials. Like, are you going for a fourth?
And then we're all going to know that the judge took a bribe. I mean, because obviously if 3 judges wouldn't do it, what changed that will make it so the fourth will do it?
It ain't, but somebody did just mention a video that I wanted to play. This video, y'all, I'm telling y'all, listen. What they need to be saying is your son is a predator because you are a predator. Look at how this woman is dressed to go up in this courthouse. I'm telling y'all, Diddy's mama groomed him. Ain't nobody is going to convince me that Diddy's mama ain't the problem here. Look at how this woman is going to Diddy's hearing with some fishnet stockings on and a leopard print coat.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's like, ma'am, if your son is nearly 55, more than half of 100, then we know you are very close to 100. There's no way you should be wearing no fishnet tights and a leopard print coat into court. This is just not court attire. This is a tacky mom. This is a boy mom. Listen, I want y'all to understand this is a boy mom.
No, I'm a boy mom. And I do not dress like
that.
Now,
Deja, you know I love me some leopard print. I love animal print. Y'all can ask my sister sitting up here. She'll tell you I love animal print.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to be dressed in animal print and fishnet stockings if I'm going to court.
Right.
Like I'm not doing this in court. I don't wear animal print in court just because of what animal print is associated with. You are judged based on your attire.
Exactly.
I won't even wear red lipstick to court.
Right.
Just because of what red lipstick symbolizes. You do get judged based on your attire. If I'm going to court, I'm probably wearing a dress and a blazer, some pants and a blazer, or something pink or light that has like that you ain't gonna be judged based on. Right. I'm not wearing no fishnet stockings and a leopard print coat looking like I just got off the host roll.
Right.
Like this woman looked like she just got off the host roll. Let me roll this video because ain't no way.
Janice, how are you feeling?
Ain't no way.
You sounded like a predator too.
Yeah, her son ain't the only predator though. Have y'all seen those videos of there's a video of Diddy and his mom, and she looked like she giving him a kiss before she start foreplay with this man. Like anybody, you simply need to watch one video of how she interacts with Diddy to know that she groomed him. Y'all can blame that on Clive Davis. Listen, y'all ain't gonna convince me that Diddy's mama wasn't attending the freak offs. Okay, she was attending.
Her nails were ready.
Yeah, her nails were white too. Like this lady, y'all ain't gonna. I would believe it if they said not only did she attend the freak offs, but she was bringing people in. To me, she just an older version of what y'all saying Carisha is. That's what his mama is. What is his mama's birthday? Is she an Aquarius too? Let me see. Janice Combs' birthday. Let me see if she is. Oh, it looked like Google ain't finding her birthday.
That's interesting. Well, I'd be trying to find her too.
Yeah, I'm not finding her birthday. That's weird.
No, it makes more sense that she would be at the freak offs if she didn't have her birthday on there because dudes like to pretend.
Yeah,
like
this
the
ain't
woman is
showing me
younger.
her birthday. And listen, anybody this age wearing this tacky blonde wig like this let me just shut up. Let me go ahead. I'm not here to drag Diddy's mama, but I really cannot find her birthday, y'all.
Yeah, I don't think she would have it on there if she's at the freak offs. It makes more sense that she wouldn't have it on there if she's at the freak offs. But I mean, she's dressed like that. She's at the freak offs.
Yeah.
She doesn't want people to know how old she is.
Yeah, that's super weird because it's literally not showing Janice Combs, gender female, date of birth, 22nd of December. Oh, she a Capricorn.
Wow.
And she 83.
Wow.
Actually, I think her and what's her name? Lotto got the same birthday.
83. Wow, she looked good to be 83.
Yeah.
It must be all that baby's blood they be drinking.
On this small thing, it says that I found one thing that, so it don't necessarily have to be true, but the one thing, okay, it did. It says December 23rd. There was an article from December 23rd, 2020 that says Sean Diddy Combs helped his 80-year-old mother have a birthday she will never forget. So I guess her birthday is in late December. Yeah, so she a Capricorn. Nonetheless, she groomed this man. Ain't nobody is gonna convince me that this lady didn't groom this man. Not after the video I saw. That video was wholly inappropriate. No mother should be kissing her son that way. And no mother should have the look on her face that she had after talking about She'll trying to start something. It's like,
let's see this video. This video sounds like,
yeah, because it's just like, lady, you're doing a little bit too much. Like, I was made to be very uncomfortable by looking at that video from Diddy. Maxine said Capricorns don't claim her. I wouldn't claim her either. If I was a Capricorn, I ain't claiming her.
No.
Because usually, quite frankly, Capricorn, frankly, that coat looked very cheap. That was a cheaper looking leopard print. I don't think a Capricorn is gonna wear some cheap looking leopard print.
Or a cheap looking wig.
Yeah, or a cheap looking wig. Capricorns are generally very exuberant and flashy in what they do. They want to come across. Y'all ain't even seen Mary J. Blige wear no leopard print that looked that cheap.
Right.
Like that lady, that's a very cheap grade of leopard print. Like, girl. But anyway, let me get in the link in the bio and get this article so we can read this and I can get this bandit terrorizing so I can move on with all of our lives because I gotta go to Wally World. So I need to get off of here. And really, I should have been off of here an hour ago. I don't even see their link.
I'm afraid of Wally.
I don't see it. Do you tell me if you see it?
I have no idea what we're looking for.
This story on Diddy. This right.
Found it as soon as you said.
Yeah, she the cuspy. Peaceful Days. She the cusper.
So
she
is of Sagittarius.
Yeah,
and,
she's sitting right on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn. Yeah, she is.
Gotcha. Well, that could be the reason why she just like December Sagittarius is they have a very unique sense of fashion. Like sometimes they'll look amazing, other times they're fine with looking like a bum.
Yeah, I just don't like it. But so it said federal prosecutor fires back at Diddy's attorney in court Thursday, saying he wrongfully accused them of racially profiling. This attorney is a dumb bandit. Like, never get your defense from social media. And it kind of sounds like his attorney is getting his defense from social media. But of racially profiling their famous client in the TMZ documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment. In our September documentary, Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnafilo, said the feds were pursuing the criminal case against his client at the takedown. Y'all know 100% for a fact that this man got this sentence here from social media. He wouldn't get it from anywhere else.
We've seen it on like way too many
black news but he wouldn't get this from, nobody would say this except the black community. So he's clearly getting this from social media. There is nobody who's going to make this statement except the black community. So he's sitting here pulling from the dusty sector of social media, black social media, to say they taking down a successful black man. They gave him his success. They could take it away. Ain't nobody trying to take down a successful black man. He's going down anyway. His behavior. So did we not see? So are everybody trying to say the video of him stomping out Cassie just don't exist?
This is the example. This is what the only how they should be able to say pulling the black card, because like this is literally pulling the black card. Like
this is literally pulling the black card.
Right, and he has way too many issues. There's way too many charges that he has, and he's literally gonna say "F all the charges." They're just trying to mess with me because.
Oh no, we're not blocking S. Wiseman. No, who blocked S. Wiseman? I recognize her from years. We are not going to block S. Wiseman. I'm gonna have to let me find her account and unblock her, because I don't know why y'all would block this lady. She's done absolutely nothing to get blocked. I already know that. I'm gonna assume it was a mistake. S. Wiseman has been here for a very long time. That's how I recognize her.
Your mods are running amok.
Yeah, y'all let me know why you're blocking somebody before you do. Don't block them, time them out. And it needs to be for a reason. I don't think S. Wiseman said anything that will warrant her being blocked. Now I have to find her account and unblock her. S. Wiseman, if you're listening now, will you please email me with a link to your YouTube account so I can unblock you? Whoever blocked you did not do it on purpose. Yeah, Nikki said S. Wiseman has been here forever. She used to be a mod at one point. Yeah, and she was about to be a mod again. Like,
that's why they had to get rid of her.
Yeah, don't block her. Whoever blocked her, unblock her. And S. Wiseman, if you're still listening, send me your YouTube account, the link to it. Just email it to me and I'll make sure you're not blocked. Nobody should have blocked her. And I don't know why they did. Like, you would lead with timing out. Please don't just block people.
Yeah, I remember they had this one person blocked, and they paid me $300 to ask you to not block them, to unblock them. So y'all go ahead and block people.
Okay, let me look and unblock you from that account now, as Wiseman. Let me go ahead and do that because I don't know why anybody did that. I mean, maybe they didn't know. So we're gonna say y'all didn't know. Please don't just block people. You can time them out. Like you can time them out. S Wiseman, I need the link to your YouTube account because I have to go into it and unblock you. I have to go into your YouTube and unblock you. So if you can just send me the link to your channel, to the YouTube that you use on here, send me the link to it because that's the way I can I'll pull up your thing now and unblock you.
Pro-Alada said that she emailed you.
Yeah, she did, but not with the link. I need her to email me the link to her account because that's the only way I can unblock her. I don't think I can get it from out the chat box because they already took you out of the chat. So I need the link to the S Wiseman account. But let me go over this Bandits. Let me go back over this article. Sorry, y'all. That just threw me off because she shouldn't have been blocked. I can't imagine that she would have said anything that warranted her being blocked because she never does. From my experience, she never comes in here saying things to not to get blocked. But yeah, he pulled from the Dusty sector to say they taken down a successful black man. They are not. He said Philo said the feds couldn't nail Diddy for anything related to taxes or his business empire, so they started poking around in his bedroom. And so what?
They still shouldn't have found him molesting the children and
right.
women. Like, what?
Right. That's the thing. If it doesn't matter who chooses to look into you. It would be one thing if they looked into you and there was no crimes in your bedroom, but if they look into your bedroom and you got crimes in there, that is why. So I don't know if this man is trying to assert that Diddy didn't commit no crimes or that he shouldn't have been charged from the crimes that he
think what he's
committed.
trying to say is that all rich people or all these men have crimes in their bedrooms.
Right, but if I'm a law enforcement and I look in your bedroom and you commit crimes, I'm gonna arrest you. So right. The problem here is that it in the context of this article, the issue that I'm having is that he is implying that Diddy should not have been arrested for what they found in his bedroom. That's the implication here. Is that there's a problem with him arresting this man,
right?
And it's like no.
The reason why I think I would, what I would be doing is I would be asking him, what does he have? Is he has things in his bedroom that we would find that are similar or identical to what Diddy did? Is that why he's saying race is a problem? Because he seems like he's saying that every man should have the same thing in their bedroom and there's not an issue with it. That's what it sounds like they're saying.
The bottom line is they said they found GHB in his room. GHB alone will get you a hefty prison sentence. So not only that, but they said they tested, and thank you for the person in the comments reminding me, equestrian chick, somebody else said it though. Yeah, Tanya Reed, thank you for reminding me. They did. They said the baby oil was tested, and I think they said it tested positively for GHB. So he was putting GHB in the baby oil, so obviously so that he can force the administration on these people.
Oh wow!
Like this is a bandit ass attorney. I would hope no other celebrities hire him to represent him because this is trash. They're going to say the feds charged Diddy with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. So you want him to be out of jail because they looked into his bedroom and this is what they found and this is your argument?
Right. But they actually do have laws where if they don't have a warrant and they go into somebody's house and they find things that they shouldn't have found because they shouldn't have been in the house, then they can't use any of that stuff as evidence.
And let's listen to his foolishness because this is a bandit.
This is the type of indictment you would expect from someone in the mafia.
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand. He is very eager to tell his story.
They're going to show that video over and over and
Tell us about that.
about what happens to women that won't change their stories.
His reputation is over.
The United States government, they start making this case as a takedown of a successful black man.
TMZ presents the downfall of Diddy, the indictment.
TMZ simply want to make money off of a salacious story.
Exactly.
Bottom line is, it says in Manhattan federal court Thursday, federal prosecutors label Agnifilio's complaints as baseless when he accused the government of engaging in a racist prosecution. So this bandit-ass attorney is saying that there's no evidence that he committed a crime.
Wow.
This is where I check out of this story. I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm not. I'm not going. I won't entertain it no more. I'm just not going to entertain it no more.
So are they
Because this sounds retarded.
Like, is he trying to say that the evidence was planted, or it's
If he's saying they're baseless claims, he's saying there is no evidence. He's saying there's no merit by. Basically, he's saying there was no reason for them to arrest Diddy.
Wow. Okay.
That's what it means when you say the allegations are baseless. He's saying they lack any type of merit. They're not true. They shouldn't be considered. They're false. There's nothing to substantiate them. And we already know he a damn lie. So anyway, bandits don't take a break from terrorizing. I wanted y'all to know that. In this case, this is a bandit and a black male worshiper. Where and basically a black male worshiper really is the female equivalent of a bandit. They generally possess the same mentality as the bandits that they worship. So that's the situation you got here. Let's roll the clip.
These allegations have landed a Houston couple behind bars.
The 5-month-old victim was allegedly brain dead when she was hospitalized late last month, and investigators say she died last week.
ABC 13's Alex Wazarjian is live in the medical center with this awful story. Alex?
Well, Erica, the couple has no prior criminal history or past run-ins with Child Protective Services. But what investigators find so disturbing about the allegations here is that even if somehow these injuries were inflicted accidentally, the couple is accused of just waiting, watching this little girl get worse. And when they finally did bring her to the hospital, it was too late.
Jasmine Ellison, please stand up.
A mother in court for the part she allegedly played in the heart-sinking death of her baby girl, Janae Smith.
The abuse was found to have occurred over a 4-day period, or the most recent abuse, in which the child was in the care and custody of both this defendant and the child's father.
Janae's final days, described by the Harris County Sheriff's Office as, quote, a horrific weekend that began on September 26. During that time, it's alleged that Janae's father, identified in court records as Glenn Smith, was abusing the child, and Jasmine Ellison, her mom, failed to take action. This all happening inside their North Harris County home on Plumwood Drive. Investigators say Janae was partially paralyzed and throwing up blood, yet Ellison and Smith waited until September 29th to call 911.
The child was found with multiple serious injuries, including swelling and bleeding on the brain, no brain activity at the time of admission, blood coming out of her mouth, broken ribs, healed broken ribs.
The child was assessed at the Texas Medical Center where...
No.
A 5-month-old.
This is demonic on a level that I'll read it. I'll read it because I'm not about to listen to that. Not with a 5-month-old baby. The bottom line is this is two bandits here. I want y'all to understand that black male worshipers do not protect children. They do not care about children. If a child happens to come in between them and their worship of whatever man, they have no problem causing that child harm, because at the end of the day, the child is seen as an accessory of the relationship, but quite frankly, not needed. So, especially not a female in the eyes of a black male worshiper. Black male worshipers do not like women. They don't like females. So if they have a female child, they're not going to look at that child as any benefit. Black women are very male identified. They do believe in it being an honor to birth males. Why, I do not know, beyond worship, because it really ain't. In fact, all of the negative experiences in pregnancy increases when you carry a male. But nonetheless, black male worship is alive. That's what you're dealing with here. A black male worshiper, a boy mom who had a daughter and clearly did not want that daughter.
Yeah, that's ugly. Like the whole everything about it's disgusting. I absolutely can't. It's even hard for me to think about it. Like I don't even know if I can make comments because it's just. But I will say I agree with you about someone that is like in desperate need to have a man or think that they actually need to have this dude in their life and he's a status symbol, because we do see a lot of videos of women that are allowing their children to be abused by the dude because just so they can have this dude. And there's a lot of women that actually put their child on a swimsuit and be on a dating app with their child next to them. And that they're not only selling themselves, but they're selling their child. And it's because they'll do whatever it takes to get a man. And it's disgusting, but it happens.
I don't even think children should be on social media. I cringe when I see people putting their kids on social media. It's just something I would never do. I would
not with a daughter.
One thing I would never do is see my child on social media. You just would not. You would not see my child on social media. It just wouldn't happen. Unless somebody violated me and went against my will, and then I would try everything I could to make sure that person pays for it.
Right.
Yeah, but my child otherwise would not be on social media. Social media is not a child-friendly place. I don't know why people let their kids get on social media, especially not TikTok. I don't get it, but they allow to by parents.
It's like the same with like the child actresses and stuff. It's like, are we really doing what we think is best for our child, or is that what's good for us? Because it's exploitation is what it is.
It is. They're simply not prepared to be in those environments. They're not. Definitely not the cesspool that is social media. Absolutely not. But it says courts allege the victim father, Glenn Wayne Smith, was abusing the child, and the mother, Jasmine Ellison, failed to take any action. Of course she wasn't. She ain't gonna take action against the man that she worshiped. That's why in the black community, black women are not taking action against anything that black men do. Like, if you look at these individual relationships, you see they very much mirror the community dynamic in which black men are allowed to run amok, commit femicide, kill their kids, abandon their kids, and black women take absolutely no action against it. None. Zero. There is nothing that black women do to counter what black men do. Talking is not action. Talking is words that don't nobody care about, because often the talking doesn't match the behavior. Like, for example, women saying they want to be married and they want a provider, but they're marrying men who are broke. Or women saying they want to have kids within marriage and then they're having a kid outside of it because they didn't check to see whether the man valued marriage. They just assumed that he did.
Right.
Like, and I feel like that's what black women are doing. Black women are assuming that black men value marriage to the extent that they do, even though black men are verbally saying that they don't. They're literally saying and showing you, and then black women are choosing to believe what they want to believe. It says, after authorities questioned both parents, they determined their statements were inconsistent with the injuries the child had. This led to their arrest and being charged. The mother's attorney claims the mother did seek medical care for the child, but was told to bring her back if her condition worsened. She went on to allege the child's state got worse while she was working. They should have
proof of that. They should have proof of that. I mean, because if you take your child to a hospital.
Yeah, she could prove if she did. The mother, Smith, was initially being held on $1 million bond, but it was later reduced to $250,000. The father's bond was set at $150,000. The good thing is bandits are broke, so they can't come up with need.
Wait, so he allegedly assaulted the baby and caused the baby's death. She didn't take the kid to the doctor, so she get 250,000 bond, which was lowered to that from $1 million, and he get 150,000. Like, make it make sense.
Yeah, but ain't 10% of 150,000? Ain't that 15,000?
Yeah, 1,500. Yeah, 15,000. But like,
Yeah.
why?
So I guarantee you this bandit, they probably setting it at this because they know even if they set it at 100,000, even if they set it at 10,000, most black people ain't gonna be able to come up with that bail money.
But why is hers more than his though? And he's the one who did the crime.
Yeah, I don't know either. Probably because
record.
Probably because society looks more unfavorable on women who abuse children than men. I think that's probably why.
The child. She did not step in. He did.
Yeah, she failed. So they're basically saying this mother failed to protect her child. So they probably think it's more on a woman to protect the child than a man. That's the only thing I can come up with. I don't know why they bails are the way they are. I really don't. But I know this bandit don't got $15,000.
Right, he doesn't.
I know it's likely that nobody that he knows has $15,000.
So the man is supposed to be the protector and the provider, right? So she should never have to protect her child from this man. So we can't say, sorry, I'm talking to someone.
Oh my God, the man being the protector and the provider is just an okie doke that they tell women so women will believe that they're going to protect them. They're not protectors.
And that is very clear because they're showing it right here that she's getting more of a charge because she didn't protect the child from the dude who actually committed the crime.
Yeah, anybody believing that men are going to protect them and provide for them at this point is living in a delusion. They're literally saying that they're not. So the proof is just out there. I don't know why they did the bail this way, but I do know that this person don't got $25,000 and this person don't got $15,000. That's what I do know. And I know it's likely that nobody that they know has that much money to bail them out. Right. Because when that dude stayed in jail for over $3,000, when 10% of that is $300, that told me the sad state of the black community. Right. That man sat in prison for 3 years because his family could not come up with $300.
Wow, that is horrible.
Yeah, and I promise you, listen, my siblings don't gotta save no bail money because if I got money, I'ma save it and I'll bail you out. Because even if you don't got the money, I got the money probably. Even if you don't got the money, I probably got it saved somewhere.
Or we have credit, or like figure it out.
Exactly, and we have credit. So I'm not about to let and the reason. I'm gonna tell y'all a silly reason why I have bail money saved. This is literally because of I told y'all in certain instances in the past I was the abuser. So I decided to set me some bail money aside because the way my temper is built up, we would just be fighting. Ain't no man beating on me. Like you're not gonna put me in a cycle of violence. We would just be fighting. Yeah, we would kind of just be fighting.
I think that's everybody in our family, but it's still not healthy. So
yeah, it's still not healthy. But in the moment, if somebody trying you, I'm fighting, and I'm gonna need to have me some bail money sitting aside because I'm not trying to sit in jail for 3 years over $300.
And also know that she not go fight stupid either. She not go fight a 250-pound dude without a weapon. So if she's mad, she's grabbing and she's equalizing.
Yeah, I do got a bail emergency fund. It's not just for me. It's for any of my family members because my family is not going to sit in a jail and not be bailed out. Now, if they got $1 million bail, I can't help you.
We have to think about it, but like
I can't help you. If you got $1 million bail, I probably can't help you.
If you have $1 million, we probably need to get together and make it a family pot that we're gonna put in to get you out of jail. But we're not.
Yeah, because we got to come up with a whole $150,000, $100,000. Ain't that 10% of $1 million? 100,000. Yeah, so that would mean we got to come up with a whole $100,000. And to my knowledge, don't nobody own no house. So we got to come with some credit. But I will talk about Keon Henderson in a video I'll just do a pre-record because I'm not staying on here longer no more. And like, we didn't get to Pastor Henderson. So I'm going to take it out of the thing, but we'll talk about it later because I'm about to get off of here.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah. It's been a long time and my head is starting to hurt and I got to go get something to eat and I need to go to Wally World. So I'm going to jump off of here, but I'll give y'all some pre-recorded content. And remember on Patreon, which if y'all want to see my content, because I only get on YouTube once a week. So if you want to see my content, you will have to subscribe to me on Patreon. The Patreon address is scrolling across the screen. So even if you watch the playback, you can still find out how to subscribe to me. The link is also in the description box of it's in at least one of the description boxes. It's in the description box of the Cynthia G channel. It's not in the description box of I forgot what the other one is called. Anyway, and that's because I don't be using it. But either way, it's still scrolling across the screen on both channels, but it's in the description box of the Cynthia G channel. So if you want to see my content, you can subscribe to me on Patreon. This live stream after 2 days will be on Patreon. So even people who have the link, you still won't be able to see it because they'll be on Patreon. So it's going to go on Patreon, basically. You can subscribe to me here at patreon.com/Cynthia G, or actually that's /. So yeah, that's / Cynthia G. Yeah, whatever. Just take the address off the screen, y'all. My brain want to shut down because I need to get off of here and I need to go eat. I haven't eaten this morning. I do got this nice little sugar cookie chai tea latte.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay, let me tell you one that's really good. It's the chai. They have a chai pumpkin spice.
The pumpkin cream.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they get caramel drizzled on
Yeah,
it.
it's really good. I usually do it with 2 or 3 pumps of vanilla syrup in it, but I'm gonna try caramel syrup actually.
Yeah, it's so good with the caramel. Yeah, it's so good with caramel because it adds a little bit of salt to it, and you know how you put salt in something, you can taste all the flavors more.
Yeah, it's actually very good, but I like it as one of my favorite drinks off their menu, although I'm not really into pumpkin stuff. Like I ain't never had no pumpkin pie, but I do like the pumpkin spice chai tea. It's really good. But I'm going to get off of here. Thank you so much, Ella, for coming on here. I do appreciate it when you do.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. It's always fun. It's always a pleasure.
I'm going to start throwing you a little money for coming on. I am. I think I'm probably throw you like $100 or $200 per episode or something.
Wow, that's really nice, but unnecessary. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you something for coming on here because I do appreciate it. But thank y'all so much. Again, thank you so much, Ivy Mercedes, for putting my link in the chat box. I really do appreciate that. Let me pin it. Let me go ahead and pin it for them. Thank you so much. I should have did that already. So now it's pinned to the comments, and it probably will be pinned when y'all watch the playback too. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off of here and I'll do a pre-recorded video about Pastor Henderson because no, I don't even know why y'all still fooling around with these pastors, but y'all are. So
I did. Remember my ex is a pastor.
Yeah,
So
I'm
not
not
to discuss. I can tell you why.
I'm not about to play with these pastors. They too money hungry. They're out for money, and that's really all they're out for. I see that Xtina left though.
Yeah, a long time ago. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to text her and see what's up. I gotta find out what time zone she's on too. But yeah, all right, I'm jumping off. So thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all later.
Love you later. Bye.
Bye.